Hello and welcome to this video on how to run an accessibility scan on a PowerPoint presentation to see if your PowerPoint presentation is accessibility friendly, which is a really good thing to be able to do early into creating a PowerPoint presentation, just to make sure that any colors or themes that you're using for your PowerPoint are meeting accessibility standards. And it's really easy to run this scan within PowerPoint. All you have to do is go up to File and click under Inspect Presentation on Check for Issues, and then click Check Accessibility. What this does is it runs an accessibility scan through your entire PowerPoint presentation and gives you any errors and any tips for what may need to happen. In our case, in this dialog box, it's telling us that there's missing alternative text for two images. And underneath all of our errors and tips, they're also giving us information on to why that's important to fix it and then the steps to fix it. So to paraphrase why missing alternative text would be important, it's because this is something within accessibility that screen readers read this alternate text aloud. So it's the only information many have about the image. So good alternative text helps them understand what that image is. And if I click on the image, under steps to fix, it tells me that I just have to select it, right click, and go to add alt text. And I can actually have PowerPoint generate a description for me, but I'm going to put in yellow tent with door open facing left. And then once I've stopped typing, you'll notice that now the image no longer appears under my errors. So I would do that for each one of these, and then I would move on to my tips. And under my tips, it's telling me that I need to be checking reading order. And then it tells me, if I click on any one of them, why I should fix that. And in this case, why checking reading order is important is because people who cannot view the slide will hear slide text, shapes, and content read back in a specific order. You should verify that the reading order and labels will make sense in the order they will be read back for these screen readers. And then it tells me the steps to fix it. So in this case, what I need to do is on this slide, now I have to switch to the Home tab, click Arrange, and choose Selection Pane. So I'm on the Home tab, I go to Arrange and select Selection Pane. This opens up this selection pane for me, and essentially what it does for me is list every single thing that's on my slide and whether or not it should be read in this order. To arrange this in the order for screen readers, I want to make sure that the thing that's listed last is the thing that will be read first. So I can use these arrows and arrange the slide how I need to. And once that's done, I move on to the next slide. You should note that these won't really necessarily disappear after you're finished with the way that you like it. It's just a tip. That's why it's not an error. So once we finish everything, the accessibility checker will be clear and you'd be safe to go through working on your presentation. However, I always like to check my presentation's design for any other things that may be affecting color blindness. Now, sometimes the PowerPoint will pick up an issue with a contrast on a slide, but other times it won't because it's not the most sensitive of checkers. So I do recommend that on a slide that you're thinking about using your color theme from, you save it off as an image and upload it to a website that allows you to put it through a colorblind simulator. So how we do that is we go up to File and we go down to Save As, and we want to save this off as a JPEG. We need an image, so I'm going to go down, select JPEG. I'm going to give it a name like Color Blind Check, and I'm going to save it to my desktop just to make it a little easier to find this later. It's going to ask me next if I want to do this for my entire presentation, but in my case, I want to do just this one slide. Now that I have my image, I want to upload it to my colorblindness simulator. So I go to the web and I go to a website called www.color-blindness.com, and I want to go down to a color blindness simulation tool. What this tool is it's a simulator that allows me to know what it's like to have certain types of color blindness when I was looking at an image. And it gives me an example one, and just to show you guys its abilities, if I click through the different kinds of color blindness, it shows me what that image will look like for that person with that kind of color blindness. So what I want to do is drag and drop or paste my file in the area below to check it. So what I do is I choose my file. This uploads for me, and as I go through checking it out for color blindness, I notice that when I get to red blind protanopia, that I can't even really see the text anymore on the right side of my slide. So it's probably not a good idea that I keep this color scheme, because for those people with red blind or protanopia or green blind deuteranopia, they won't be able to see my slide. So that's a really good check that I'm glad I did, because now what I do is I go back to my presentation and I'll be able to change my text to something a lot more readable and know that that's a good color scheme to be using as I move forward. So that's how you clean up a PowerPoint presentation to make it accessibility friendly. Thanks for watching.